all eyes around the state, around the country, around the world are on the Indiana Fever. And Bria, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Caitlin Clark just did in 41 games what it took Diana Taurasi 565 games to pull off. Let that sink in. What we're witnessing right now might be one of the most jaw-dropping rookie to sophomore leaps in all of professional basketball.
There it is! A triple.
While everyone's focused on Caitlin Clark's triple-double, the truth is, that game shattered 11 different records thanks to Clark and the Indiana Fever. I went through every second of their beatdown over the Chicago Sky, and what I uncovered is absolutely mind-blowing. Clark's triple-double, that was just the start of a historic night that rewrote the WNBA record books. If you're riding with Indiana, drop a "I've got the Fever" in the comments. Let's get it.
Having the Fever organization be what it is today, like, it is just so fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of anticipation.
You've done a great job in training camp leading to this moment. Enjoy it. Okay, go out there and have some.
While all eyes were glued to Caitlin Clark that night, something legendary was quietly unfolding in the background. Wnba Bonner stepped onto the court needing just 7 points to etch her name into basketball history. Let that sink in. 15 seasons of elite play, thousands of shots made, and now she was on the brink of becoming the 3rd highest scorer in WNBA history.
Bonner is the 4th all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. And in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into 3rd all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring charts.
With all the Caitlin Clark hype sweeping through the arena, you had to wonder, would anyone even notice this milestone? As the Fever took on the Sky, a quiet but powerful story was unfolding. Wnba Bonner, who's been a scoring force since 2009, was now just 7 points away from passing Tina Thompson on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. From Phoenix to Connecticut and now Indiana, Bonner has been stacking buckets for over a decade, and now she was on the edge of immortality.
Bonner, who knocks it away, cookies, TV, open court, right side, and she lays it in!
The moment finally came in the 4th quarter. Wnba Bonner stepped to the free throw line with history on the line. The first shot, nothing but net, tying the record as the crowd roared in support. The second, it sealed it. With that bucket, Bonner officially surpassed 7,488 career points, becoming just the 3rd player in the 28-year history of the WNBA to reach that legendary scoring mark.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good! Wnba Bonner now 3rd in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. And here's the ovation for Bonner.
What makes Wnba Bonner's milestone even more meaningful is the impact she's had on the Fever's culture. She's not just a veteran padding her stats. She's a 6-time All-Star and 2-time champion who's injecting a winning mindset into a young team that's still learning how to win. When Bonner talks in that locker room, players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull pay attention. She's the voice of experience and the glue holding this rising squad together.
You know, DB is somebody that, you know, is a Hall of Famer, like a legend, not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. You know, the strongest voice in our locker room is hers, and it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in. And I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her because she certainly deserved that moment, and it was really awesome to see and be a part of.
The Indiana crowd rose to its feet as the PA announcer revealed Wnba Bonner's historic milestone. In a world obsessed with viral clips and rising stars, this moment was proof. True greatness still gets the respect it deserves. Bonner's rise to the number 1, third spot on the WNBA's all-time scoring list wasn't just a personal triumph. It set the tone for a night packed with record-shattering performances. Now, only Tina Charles stands in her way with 7,696 career points, but this wasn't just Bonner's night, because just when you thought it couldn't get more electric, another Fever star stepped up to silence every doubter. Remember when people questioned whether Aaliyah Boston could really dominate at the pro level, especially going head-to-head with her former South Carolina teammate Camila Cardoso, the 6'7" force in the paint? Yeah, those critics got humbled real quick, and Boston made sure of it in a statement performance against the Chicago Sky.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
Aaliyah Boston came into her 3rd season with a point to prove. She wasn't just trying to be good. She was out to become the backbone of a franchise, side by side with Caitlin Clark. Together, they're building the foundation of something serious in Indianapolis. A duo built to lead for the next decade, but standing in their way that night, a Chicago frontcourt full of swagger, especially Angel Reese, who had been talking all week about how she planned to dominate Boston in the paint. Instagram captions, press quotes, even her warm-up energy. Reese made it clear she thought the matchup was hers. Boston had other plans. She answered with a defensive clinic that left fans stunned. 5 massive blocks, sending Sky shot after shot into the stands. Each swat had the crowd roaring and pointing at the scoreboard as if to say, "Not in her house." Every time Reese tried to go up strong, Boston was already there, waiting, ready, and unbothered. By the end of the night, Boston had climbed to 6th all-time in blocks in Fever history, and made sure Angel Reese and the rest of the Sky remembered her name. Those 13 rebounds weren't just impressive, they were historic. That single performance pushed Aaliyah Boston to 8th all-time in rebounds in Fever franchise history, and she's only in her 3rd season. Let that sink in. Decades of players have battled for boards in Indiana, and Boston's already cracked the top 10. And when you look at the full stat line, 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks, you're talking about elite company. She became just the 2nd player in WNBA history to drop 15+ points, 10+ rebounds, and 5+ blocks in a season opener. The only other player to ever do it, Natasha Howard, back in 2014. That's not just a strong start, that's rare air, especially for a player just 3 years into her career.
Yes, great job of those long arms of Aaliyah Boston here, going up multiple times, and then
the connection between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston was flawless all night long. Clark kept delivering pinpoint passes to Boston for easy finishes, whether it was a slick high-low feed or a perfectly timed bounce pass. Meanwhile, Boston guarded the rim like it was a fortress, locking down any attempt by Chicago to drive inside. Every time the Sky thought they found a path to the basket, Boston was there to slam the door shut. As for Angel Reese, she grabbed 17 rebounds, but her offense struggled mightily. Shooting just 5 for 14 from the floor, she couldn't find a way around Boston's impeccable timing and defensive positioning. What was hyped as a showdown ended up turning into a masterclass in defense and timing.
Pow, pow, pow! Fever dub.
But the most stunning display of defensive mastery came when Aaliyah Boston teamed up with a teammate to set a record never before seen on a WNBA opening night. Their lockdown defense forced scorers, wings, and guards all across the league to rethink how they approach the Indiana defense. What Caitlin Clark pulled off against the Sky wasn't just impressive, it was truly unprecedented in the WNBA's 28-year history. No one, not Diana Taurasi, not Sue Bird, not Cheryl Reeve, has ever matched what Clark achieved in that season opener.
Ready for the season to tip off. It's the Fever against the Chicago Sky. We saw record crowds a season ago, and I'd say they are back and raring to go in 2025.
Coming into her 2nd year, Caitlin Clark faced sky-high expectations. After shattering 62 records as a rookie and turning the Fever from lottery hopefuls into playoff contenders, fans were eager to see what she'd do next. But no one could have predicted the historic performance she delivered against Chicago.
The Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky in a blowout victory, and I have 3 words. Oh my God. Or now you know.
Right from the start, Caitlin Clark was unstoppable. Just minutes into the game, she drained a logo 3, that perfect smooth shot that leaves defenders shaking their heads in disbelief. The ball barely kissed the net as it swished through cleanly. And that was just the start. Clark played like someone who spent the entire offseason focused on one thing, dominating every inch of the court. She spotted passing lanes that no one else could, threading needle-like assists that seemed impossible. She snagged rebounds over taller opponents, timing her jumps to perfection. But the most surprising part, she was blocking shots like never before.
Not the first one in your career, but you had 4 blocks out there. That's more than you ever had in college. Matches your WNBA career high. Felt like you were channeling the spirit of Gabby Marshall out there with the blocks. Is that a part of your game that you've been working on the postseason? Are we going to see more blocks out of you as your career rolls on?
Not really.
Her 4 blocks set a new career best and marked the highest number of blocks by a point guard in a WNBA season opener ever. This caught everyone off guard, especially those who doubted her defensive skills. These weren't soft blocks either. They were powerful rejections that fired up the entire team. The Clark-Boston defensive duo reached new heights when they combined for 9 blocks, the most ever by a pair in a season opener in league history. Imagine that, a point guard and a center teaming up for 9 blocks. That's a level of defensive dominance usually reserved for 2 towering bigs, not a guard and a center working together.
It's not really something you can work on. I don't know, I felt like I had active hands. I had some pokes when our post players were playing good defense, and you know, coaching staff has just challenged me to try to be a better defender every single practice and just getting better in that area. I still feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve. I don't think any of those blocks were too obvious. You know, you look at the stat sheet and it's like, oh wow, 4, but you know, you can get your hand on there and help your teammate out. It makes the world of a difference. So
as the 4th quarter kicked off, the excitement in the arena was electric. Clark was just 2 assists and 1 rebound away from making history. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, watching her chase the very first 20-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist triple-double in a WNBA season opener. Every time she dished the ball, fans held their breath. Every missed shot had everyone watching, waiting to see if she'd snatch the rebound. With under 5 minutes remaining, Clark delivered a flawless pass to Wnba, who nailed a mid-range jumper, securing Clark's 10th assist. The arena exploded. Minutes later, Clark grabbed her 10th rebound, sending the crowd into complete pandemonium. History was made, and everyone knew it. Clark's 2010-10 performance wasn't just her 3rd career triple-double. It catapulted her to 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time triple-double list. She became the fastest player in league history to hit 3 triple-doubles, doing it in only 41 games. On top of that, she tied Alyssa Thomas for the 2nd most 20-point triple-doubles ever recorded.
There it is! A triple.
Most jaw-dropping stat? Clark is rewriting the record books at lightning speed. She already has 9 games with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. Second all-time only to Courtney Vandersloot. What makes this even more incredible? Clark achieved this feat in just 41 games. For comparison, Diana Taurasi took 565 games to hit 9 such performances, and Vandersloot needed 430 games to reach that mark. That's the huge gap between Clark and everyone else in WNBA history. What takes other players their entire careers, Clark is doing in just her first 41 games. She isn't merely breaking records, she's completely redefining what's possible for a pro basketball player. Think about this, if Clark keeps even a fraction of this pace going, she'll smash every major WNBA record for points, assists, and triple-doubles on the books. That's not hype, that's just simple math.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar, not a female superstar. She is a superstar.
We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play.
She moves the needle.
What we saw against the Sky wasn't just a simple victory. It marked the rise of a potential dynasty set to rule women's basketball for years to come. The Fever's commanding 35-point win over Chicago was more than a routine triumph. It was a statement about the power of generational talent coming together at just the right time. This wasn't an average blowout either. It stands as the second largest margin of victory in Indiana Fever history. While some might brush this off as a one-off game, the numbers tell a very different story. Breaking 11 records in a single night isn't luck. It's a clear message to the entire league. Indiana is a force to be reckoned with.
He just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
The Clark-Boston duo is developing way faster than anyone expected. Their combined total of 9 blocks proves they're building a two-way synergy that goes far beyond just putting up points. Most analysts thought it would take years for them to develop this kind of defensive intuition together. Instead, they're already rewriting the record books as a pair. This team boasts an unmatched balance. A sophomore phenom in Clark, shattering records at a historic pace, alongside Boston, a third-year powerhouse who's rapidly climbing the franchise's all-time charts. Veteran leaders like Bonner, Howard, Sydney Colson, Brianna Turner, and Sophie Cunningham bring invaluable playoff and championship experience. Meanwhile, emerging stars like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hall are hitting their stride and ready to make their mark.
Well, the regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what did the kids say? Belt to ass? Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
Watching how fast this team is coming together, it's impossible not to get hyped. The spacing on the floor is flawless, their defensive rotations are sharp, and the ball moves with a smoothness you rarely see from young squads. Yet, the Fever make it look effortless. This isn't just about one record-smashing night, it's about witnessing the rise of a team that could reshape the WNBA and bring multiple championships to Indiana. It's like watching the early days of the Chicago Bulls before they went on their historic runs. You can feel the foundation being built for something truly special. The best part, Clark, Boston, and this Fever squad are just warming up. The rest of the league should be seriously worried about what's coming next.
They won 93-58.
If they can break 11 records in one game now, imagine what happens when they find their full rhythm, when peak chemistry kicks in. This isn't just a strong team having a good night. This is the start of a historic chapter in women's basketball. The gap between the Fever and the competition is only going to grow. They won 93-58, crushing the Chicago Sky by 35 points, the second largest blowout in franchise history. When a team shatters 11 records in a single game, you're not simply watching basketball, you're witnessing history in the making, and this Fever team is just getting started. The real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the Indiana Fever will break more records this season. It's how many more they'll completely demolish before it's all said and done. If you're feeling the Fever, drop a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment.